Hey everyone, it's Lucid. Welcome back. We're going to hop back into our game with Lemuria in Lord of the Flies. And it is turn 62. If you recall the end of last episode, we were pondering who to attack next after Calum. And we had a very insightful message from Midgard, which I think actually laid out the best diplomatic option for us, which was to attack Rila since they were weak because of astral corruption being up. It means they can't do all sorts of things like mind hunt my lonely little priest ghoul or ghost leaders, and they can't do bigger, better things like cast other spells on me. I'm not even sure what those would be, but we took that advice, and afterwards, after the plan is to take down Utgard and get astral corruption off, but we took that advice and we acted on it. And we sent big attack orders, as you can see, in for the nation of Rila. It also helps. We need to shrink Rila because he was very close to doing a throne rush. And especially if we ever get astral corruption down, he could try to throne rush again. And we don't want that. No, we don't. So this is a very small group that I have coming in, and we're probably going to lose this, actually, because they have a priest here. Yeah. So this first battle we actually lose. This is in Linshire. This is one of the... a lot of times there's a picture of it. We'll go see. That's this province right here. It didn't look like there were any troops here, but he had a lot of PD. Which I was figuring, too, with both of our dominions in there, he probably wouldn't be able to have much PD because there's not much population. But I think I have overestimated how quickly Ryla's pop kill kills the lands. It does kill things, but not super quickly. Okay, this is a pretty important battle. This is in the lake system near the edge of Calum's boundary, right near where he tried to throne rush near Utgard. And as we thought, there's a bunch of star spawns in here, and these are the good variety. There's two kinds of star spawn. One are cap only, and they have really high astral. And the other are the ones you can get everywhere, and their astral is not super high. They're just like Astral 1, Water 1, or Astral 1, and then they get a random of something else. So anyway, these are the good ones. So this represents almost a year, or no, it does represent a year of cap production. We've got a Queen of the Lakes, which is not a commander because you don't see any magic paths on it, so it means he must have enslaved-minded it from someone else. And he's got some Mind Blasters. This is a Bishop Fish. It's a Holy 3 guy. Riley doesn't have great access to Holy 3, so Bishop Fish are good ways to do that. And that's basically it, I think. I don't see any prophetized dudes, but they could be back there. On our side, we have quite a few lemurs, grand lemurs, and they're kitted up with a bunch of gems. We're going to be doing anti-magic so that their enslaved mind shenanigans don't work on me. Very well, anyway. And then we're going to be doing the rigor mortis fatigue play that works so well with Lemuria. And you can see he's doing enslaved mind. Let's see if there's a graphic. It looks like actually this was the enslaved mind graphic, and he's going after this guy. And that's because he has a lot of HP. Compared to his magic resistance, I believe. We'll turn on team-colored squares. We'll see if he gets they get anybody. Meanwhile, we're coming in. Let's see if they do another enslaved mind. Okay, there's another one coming out. I think these were mostly targeted up here. I don't think he got anybody. Yeah. And they're about out of time. They might get one more. Okay, Soul Slay and Slave Mind coming out. I'll back out again. We can see who they target. No, they're still preparing to cast. I don't think they've cast. So far, I don't really see anybody getting enslaved. Yeah. Enslaved Mind's pretty good if you can sit these guys behind chaff and they target high-value targets. So far, we don't see that happening. And now that they're locked up in melee, we're not going to see a lot of that coming down. And because this is not a commander, it's only a unit, it can't do any of the things it normally does to buff itself to stay really strong, like Liquid Body, amongst other things. Though it does have that... actually, Liquid Body wouldn't help here, but normally you would put armor on her and other things, and she can stay alive. Like, she could potentially tank this whole army. But without having any gear and not being a commander, it doesn't work. You can see we enslaved a couple of these. We enslaved this thing from the void, but it's decaying. I'm not sure if it will live the battle. And we have apostasy coming out. I'm not sure if we'll get him. Yeah, it doesn't look like we got too much. We might have gotten one thing from the void. So let's check out the battle report. We lost a measly 11 units, counting the one thing of the void we gained. And he lost just about everything. He lost all his star spawn. That's a year of recruitment. A Queen of the Lake. And yeah. That's pretty costly. I mean, we're at turn 60. So he, like in this one battle, he has lost at least a fifth of his remaining star spawn. Because he definitely wasn't recruiting these early year one. So, yeah. And then he's probably lost more in other fights with... I know he's lost some to Astral Corruption. And he's also lost some in fights with Utgard. So he's probably down a whole lot in terms of his cap-only mages. This is going to be really easy. We're not going to watch it. This is just versus PD. That's kind of cool. You could see Reanimate Dead working there with Nether Darts. I don't think anything... they don't survive the battle anyway. But anyway, we killed them. Here is an attack against PD. There's hardly anything there. And then we have an attack here into the lake, the mouth of the lake. That is a big banishment, by the way. Let's see what the hell's going on here. Okay, this is one of his prophets. He had put prophets along his border with me to bolster his dominion. They were sitting around preaching. You see big banishments coming out. But fortunately, it looks like we just caused a rout, and they ran, so that's not good. But let's check the battle report. Yeah, he killed 13 guys and then ran off, and we lost 13 guys. So all the losses were from that cultist. And then we have a battle here in the Stag Sea Lake. I don't remember if there's... Yeah, there's... Are these cultists, or are they... I think they're just Holy 1. Not Holy 3. Okay, yeah. These are proving quite hard to kill. Why is that? Steel strength, weakness, horror marked. Oh, they have pretty high protection. 16, that's not bad. Okay, and we took that one. So far, we're being pretty damn successful taking stuff. And then this is our Grand Lemur, and he's doing Astral Shield. Even if they got him with Mind Burn or Mind Blast, it's not really going to do much. Okay, he's just going to walk in and kill him. We have an unexpected event in Kalem. Somebody has gotten a leadership event. Well, this just gives them more leadership. We'll go check that out. I'll show you who it is. Probably this guy. Yeah. So its leadership is 100 now, which is significantly higher than it was before. And then we have a bunch of fortresses completing. So a bunch of our infrastructure is now starting to pop up. Let's go check out specifically which ones these were. Okay, so this went from a palisade to a fort. This went from a palisade to a fort. And then we finished building a palisade here. So you can see we're very quickly getting to wall off all of this stuff from Kalem. Now, I can't emphasize enough how important it is to do this quickly. This war with Agartha is not over, and Utgard and Midgard both want to finish Agartha, and then they probably are going to chip in against Rila. And one of the things in how dominions work is, for various reasons, people do not get out of diplomatic relationships very quickly. And there's reasons for that. One is people like Agartha may try to ask for more of his land back than these guys want to give. So it makes a pretty high cost to switching. And otherwise, Agartha, like if they let go, then he'll fight them back and take it. So, but given enough time, they'll either conquer Agartha or they'll reach some terms of peace, and at which point they'll attack me. Because right now, I have gone from what was a very small nation. Like, if you have Lemuria pinned up and they can't get any bigger than this, nobody wants to invade them, so you may just accept them. But I have now taken all of this. I've more than doubled in size, and I'm now at a very cancerous stage where you cannot ignore me and they need to gang up and attack me. But even once I had Kalem's stuff taken, Rila just had throne rushed, and so we got a quick coalition against Rila. But as soon as I have Rila's stuff, like if I get the lake, which I may not get, he may be able to kill me. But if I can get the lake, it's kind of too late. I'm going to win the game. I don't think there's anything they can do. There is, but they'll have to play really tactically well, because I'll have a big strategic advantage. But what's important, though, is like in this window before I have the lake and all of this, and before the diplomatic situation changes, I need to get this whole land forted up really fast and get ghosts in it so that people don't want to attack and invade me. So we've got a ton of infrastructure coming up. We've got a palisade coming up here. We've got a palisade coming up here. We've got a palisade coming up here. We haven't started in these two, which are actually really high-value provinces. So I do need to start there, but I haven't yet. There's a palisade coming up here. So I'm going to have this whole thing, except for these two provinces, forted in. So that's kind of cool. And then, yeah, I think that's it. So let's talk about strategy, how we can play here. Now, I have this fort sieged up. There's nothing that can kick me off of it this turn. So what I'm worried about is he may send somebody out of the fort to burn gems before I run in. So as you can see, I have a bunch of extra gems on my guys. And I'm also worried about assassins in here because Rila has some of the best assassins in the game. It's Star Children with bottles of water, for those of you who watched painfully as I got my ass kicked by Rila and assassins in my Airmore game. Here what I'm going to be doing is I've got bodyguards for all my dudes, and these guys are actually okay against water elementals from a bottle of water. But what I've also done is I'm redundantly scripting all my dudes. So this guy's doing anti-magic, and then down here, this guy's also doing anti-magic, but he's doing it later. So he'll cast some other stuff, and then if anti-magic's up, then he'll find something else to cast. This guy's doing Rigor Mortis and Skeletal Legion. This guy's doing Rigor Mortis. I don't really care that much about Skeletal Legion, but we're double scripting Rigor Mortis. And that's in case one of these guys gets assassinated. So we're doing bodyguards plus double scripting, and we're storming the castle. Because what could happen, the worst thing that could happen, is they kill my mages, or some of my mages, right? Like if they killed the guy casting Rigor Mortis, and then I don't know what he has in here, but I know he probably has some prophets. And so if he has some Holy 3 mages plus enough chaff, and I don't have anti-magic up or Rigor Mortis, then they could kill this whole huge army of like 700 ghosts. And I can't afford to, I can afford to lose them, but if I lose 700 ghosts, they don't replenish quickly enough for me to get them back quickly and continue this attack on Rila. If he killed this whole army, I don't know what I'd do, but it's gonna like really cripple my war effort. The nice thing is right here, it's friendly dominion, so these guys are not getting driven insane. But here you can see insanity. Okay, this guy's not insane. It's only Dominion 3. This guy's not insane. This guy's not insane. Here, this guy started going insane. He's pretty insane already. Just from one turn, he's 20 insane. Or he has 20 insanity, and this guy has 10. So the insanity's starting to pile up, and we're going to this province, which all of its neighbor provinces are Rylan. So this is probably really high insanity. Or pretty high Rylan Dominion, which is going to give me a lot of insanity. But taking it's going to do a few things. It's going to kill this temple. And then I'm going to start to try to cut off. You can see he has a huge force here, right? So I'm going to start to try to cut off this bottom part of his empire from his capital. And where at least if he goes to take it, he's going to have to move one turn through my territory. So this will get a fort and start to cordon it off. I'm also going to attack here with a pretty big army. Pretty big army in both these, right here and here. And then I'm going to re-attack this with another big army. But none of these are getting mage support. It's just my my preachers. And that's because I'm pretty reluctant to use my mages in Ryland Dominion where they'll go insane. I don't care nearly as much about these guys. If I need to, like if I get too many of them killed off, I can find other guys to move my troops around. I can use Mound Kings, which are 3 gems, or I can do more Shadow Tribunes, which are 8 gems, so they're more expensive. And I can also do Centurions, which are 5 gems. So I kind of get my pick. Centurions, I forget how much they... Yeah, 120. So I'd probably do Centurions, because they're also non-shitty. But anyway, that's kind of going to be the cost. If I lose too many tribunes, then so be it. I think I've gone through most of the important tactics for this one. The main thing I'm doing here is I'm preparing to get assassinated, and we're storming this fort with a ton of guys. You can see I turn 1 cracked it, which was pretty important also. Doesn't give him much time to respond. I'm also moving in my water mage into this main army so he can come down with them. He's going to be doing, right now, just friendly currents, but I'm not expecting him to get attacked. He's going to be doing Shark Attack and Grip of Winter. We've got another guy moving in here. He's also going to be doing Shark Attack, Grip of Winter stuff, but I'm going to basically Death Ball into his capital. That's my plan. But taking this along the way. Over here... let me see, I got an in-game message from Utgard that said, not in-game, but in Steam, and he said, I think this group is scaring the shit out of him, but he said, hey, he started attacking Rila here. He said, if I want to, I can use Province 18 as a bridge. So I'm going to move my army here and then walk it over this way, and it's going to come down and help clear out the ocean. Yeah. Which is totally fine by me. I'm happy doing that. So we're going to take this, then we're going to go run down here. I'm not going to bring all my mages through. I'm bringing some of the mages in here, but this guy's going to go start site searching here. I think, judging from the sites that that Calum has, he hasn't site searched nature. I don't really see any nature sites. And he doesn't seem to have site searched astral very much either. So... we're going to make sure to take Astral Mages around, and I'm going to try to get Nature Mages over here also. Like, I probably should have gone and moved him out this turn, but I didn't. Anyway. And you can see my Dominions starting to push into Calum's territory. This one has a temple. This one has a temple. So Calum's cap is I'm about to lose 400 income pretty damn quick within like 5 turns. So that's unfortunate. But what I'm doing, Calum's also gone AI, because he's only got 1 fort left. And I've just got this guy sitting on this fort. If I were to take this last fort of Calum's, all his candles would disappear, and what would happen is my Dominion would flush in very, very quickly, because your Dominion pushes much slower into land that already has Dominion than land without it. So by keeping this kind of occupied, it's going to really slow down the rate at which my Dominion pushes into Calum, and thereby will give me more income. Once I get forts up, I'm okay with my Dominion coming in. But like here, the forts are still building. I don't want the Dominion to go in any faster than I have forts up. Yeah, and even if I have forts up for a few turns before my Dominion hits it, I'm losing out on some ghost production, but I'm gaining income, and I think I'd rather have the income. So anyway, that's the other part. The final thing is we're casting a spell. You can see my Pretender's casting Well of Misery. I'm putting 181 death gems into it. Now, there's some risks that go along with this. Basically, the big risk is Astral Corruption's up. So I gave her the skull staff, so she'll get a bit more of an overcast. And then I've got a bottle of living water and a skull talisman, and hopefully this will defend me against the inevitable horrors that are going to come when you cast 180 gem global with astral corruption up. So cross your fingers for me, and I think that is about it for this turn. We're going to be storming this fort. We're not going to be raiding anymore. We're just going to be storming, and then we're going to be deathballing in towards Rila's cap. And I should have enough dudes to one turn crack it in a turn or two. And with that, let me make sure I went through... Did I go through all the events? Oh, I did. Okay. Let's go ahead and go to the next turn, which is my current turn. And I have submitted it, but I can change it if we discover anything as I'm talking to you. So... Oh, there are some other things. I have been empowering myself more, and I tend to do this more when I have... or when Astral Corruption's up, because empowering does not put you at risk for getting attacked by horrors, fortunately. This guy got empowered up. He is he is Earth 4, and then I put Earth Boots on him, so he's now Earth 5. He's going to be casting Earth King, or King of Elemental Earth. He's got Ritual of Returning on him, so he should get zapped back. And he's also got some Earth Gems, so if he's smart, he could summon Earth Elementals, and maybe those would kill the horror. He's also got some bodyguards. So I don't know how that'll go, but we'll see. I really don't want him to get horror marked too badly. But if he dies, I'll lose the Earth Boots, but those are okay. I will really like having a King of Elemental Earth. It will give me much more flexibility in terms of having really good Earth Mages, because right now he's my only really good Earth Mage who'll be able to drop Army of Gold and Army of Lead on top of some of my big Ghost armies. Yeah, I can also potentially... I was checking out, should I cast Hidden Underneath? Basically, you're going to get some good undead units, but there's already going to be so much banishment with whoever I'm fighting. These are high protection undead units, and then you get 1 or 2 mages. And the mages are pretty good. They're Earth Death mages, but I would rather just have like a really good Earth mage. So this is a better value for me at the moment. Anyway. So yeah, he's going to be casting that. Okay, let's go through it. So we empowered ourselves in Earth. We cast Ritual of Returning a few times. We cast Well of Misery, and then you can see inevitably we got assassinated. But Well of Misery was successfully cast, so that's good. And it says we were attacked by a slave to Unreason. Holy shit. So for those of you who've never seen a Doom horror, this is a good recipe to get yourself attacked by one. Wait till Astral Corruption comes up, and then spend 180 gems on a global. So fortunately, we have our bodyguards. We have all 5 of them showed up. We have our Ice Elemental and our Skeleton. And sweet baby Jesus, look at this. It is an Astral 10. Yes, you read correctly. Astral 10, 400 HP, 24 magic resistance demon. It's got damage reversal, which is better than Blood Vengeance. And yeah, this is a very good damage reversal too. 19 versus MR. It's Ethereal. It has 20 fear. It can horror mark, which is really bad in Astral Corruption, because if I get hit by this, it's going to zap the shit out of me. I can potentially get put into a horror mark, or horror mark death spiral where I respawn and continue to get attacked by horrors. And then we have Theft of Reason, which I don't know what this does. I'm guessing it does feeble-minded. Either way, I don't particularly want to find out. So, sweet baby Jesus, cross your fingers. I don't think I'm going to win this one, guys. But I just don't want to get horror marked. Okay, so it's good. This looks like the first horror mark Theft of Reason thing did not target me. It targeted back here. Okay, we cast Invulnerability. He's trying to control this. He's casting the spell Control. Okay, our Ice Elemental is hitting it. That's quite nice. It seems to be attacking here. Okay, it casts Doom because, oh yeah, didn't I mention it also has temporary Astral Gems? What that means is I'm now cursed. And this is irreversible. That's forever. There's no way in the game to get rid of a curse. Fortunately, I have recuperation, so curse isn't that big. Okay, Solar Rays comes down, zaps most of my undead. Syllable of Sleep. Okay, I think he's converted this. This is now his, so he got this with control. So this is his elemental. And it is... This Spectral Axe dude is attacking this guy. But meanwhile, my Lich Queen is getting chased all over the map, which actually is totally fine. I just want her to get smacked once, and that will trigger... why? It says it's doing damage, but it's not triggering Ritual of Returning. Okay, there. It got her this time. So, she teleported off, and now it's just going to kill him. So all in all, that was not actually that bad. It's actually good because you all got to see a Doom Horror, which you don't see in most games, and they're really freaking cool. And I didn't get harm marked. And I didn't even get killed. I just got teleported back home. Not that bad. Now there's other heroes like Slayer of Heroes that can get spawned, and he has Consume Soul, which will ignore immortality, and you're dead forever. So you hope that doesn't get you. But I think it might have an... I can't remember. It may have an MR check in there for Destroy Soul. Yeah. Anyway, we hope that guy doesn't come and kill us. But, you know, sometimes you gotta do your thing, and it doesn't matter if Astral Corruption's up, you know, whatever. I've also got just a shit ton of Preachers. I can preach them back. But I will lose now 2 globals, so I do want to be a little careful. I don't think I'm going to try anything else big with Astral Corruption up. But this has my Death Gem income, now at a pretty hoppin' 70. That's kind of huge. That's like 1.5 Grand Lemurs a turn. So yeah, we're looking okay there. Next there was a battle here. You can already see I won, but let's watch it. Okay, so here we've got not many dudes. It's about 60. And some of these guys I know are the prophets. I think maybe these guys. Yeah, this is one of the prophets. So he's got a few. I'm not sure how many, but there's some prophets in here. And this is how he was keeping... Okay, so there goes anti-magic. That was really important. This is how he was keeping my Dominion out of his ocean. Was having all these prophets inside this fort. And I knew that. So actually getting him killed is pretty damn nice. Because even if this war doesn't go well, he's not going to be able to fill this fort back up with prophets very easily. But he does have some pretty big banishments coming down. We can see Nether Darts coming out. And apparently hitting my own dudes. But you can see this banishment, even though it's really big and pretty high powered, it's not doing that much damage. And a lot of that's just from anti-magic. Anti-magic makes a huge difference. So we're still taking heavy losses, but there's just not enough chaff for these guys to sit behind. But you can potentially see how this battle could have gone much differently if he had assassins who sniped my anti-magic caster. And with that, we killed everything. It is a total rout. That was this one. Wait, okay. So we killed quite a few dudes with our Grand Lemurs. Most of the work was done by our ghosts, and they lost everything. They lost eight of their preachers, and I think probably about 4 of them were prophets. Yeah, so that's not bad. And then 111 troops. And I know he lost a ton of chaff in one of his throne plays. So I think he's a little low on chaff right now. We had a battle here. Yeah, sorry if I'm ruining the surprise. This was that province we lost to last turn. But we brought in more, and you can see we killed the prophet, who is this guy back here, and then actually let's check. Was he a prophet? He was doing some pretty big banishment. No, it was just the Holy One, dude. So, yeah, we killed all of them. Here, we were also successful. Just a little bit of PD, ain't no thing. Yeah, and here we were also successful. Again, just PD. So, let's take a look. Now, I haven't submitted this turn yet. Oh, and we also took this. There was nothing in here. Let's take a look at the sites we got, too. There's some interesting sites. This one has Unsettling Power, which is a Thaumaturgy bonus, which I can actually do some pretty cool things with. I'll talk about that in a minute. And then we have a Maelstrom and then a Glowing Fields. This province has some really great sites in it. It has a Nature 2, Air 1, an Astral 1, a Death 1, and an Earth 1. So this is 3 and then 3 more. There's 6 gems coming out of this one province, so that's huge. This province just has an ancient temple, but in the water it is astral and water. And this one, like we said, is 3 gems. This site, which we took, just has an enchanted field. This one has a weeping stone. This one, though, has a ton of stuff. It has Desert of Bones, which gives us Sorcerer of the Sands, which is a fire, air, earth mage with a random. So this could give us a fire 2, which would be our highest fire. It can give us an air 2, which would be our highest air. And then it can give us the death air crosspath, which I already have, so that doesn't matter. In addition, we have Canyon of Playful Winds, Crystal Garden, and Farm of Plenty. So this is a 4-gem province. And then this one is a Labyrinth of Skulls, and then a House of Atron. This is a... If they had a lab here, I'd go ahead and recruit one of these. Having an Alchemist is really good if you're a pop kill nation, because you can convert your gems into gold with a spell, and this lets you do it with a significantly larger amount of efficiency. So, yeah, you probably want... Really just one of them is fine. I mean, they're not a bad mage in and of themselves, especially if you have them go into communions, but... just having one allows you to alchemize stuff, which ends up being a pretty good way to convert earth gems into, which I have a surplus of, into gold. I don't know how long I'm going to keep this. My plan right now is to cap him. Once I take his cap and I own the ocean, then I'll probably be more worried about this. Right now, I'm trying to kind of cut off his forces and put a line in here. I'm also converging these 2 armies into this province, which is going to have really high enemy dominion. Everybody that goes in here is going to be batshit crazy in about 4 turns. So anyway, they're all running in here. We've got a huge army. We've got another huge army coming in here. And then we've got a huge army coming here. And basically we're going to sit on top of his cap. And hopefully we need to 1-turn break it. Because I don't want to camp out. Otherwise, my guys are going to be so freaking insane that I'm not going to be able to have enough people to take his fort. Yeah. So we're moving in a ton of troops. We're effectively raiding this fort. We're moving in a shit ton of people here. We're moving in a shit ton of people here. Which I already own. And then we're trying to take this with a pretty large amount of people here. And actually looking at it, I wonder if some of these guys can come over this way. Okay, they can. The ones that can will. Because this is going to be much harder to take, because there's probably going to... I think he's going to take these and pull them in here. But in case he doesn't, I want to make sure we have a big group here. The argument for moving to this province rather than like this one or this one is this one only has one candle, so I'm going to be less insane. Which actually, if we think about it, where are these? I've got... Okay, there's another thing. I'm taking 2 of these guys. Okay, wait, this guy's leaving. Where's this guy going? He's going in. Do I maybe want him to leave? I think we're going to kind of hand these gems off. I think this guy's going to peace out too. He's not horror marked or anything, so I think I want to keep him. Oh, there's a lab here. Actually, one of these guys... You're the one that's moving out. You should probably site search. I don't know if we've site searched to death here fully. Probably. But we're going to do it anyway, just in case. We're building a temple here also. I think this is okay. Yeah, we could have a fight here, so I need to make sure I'm ready for the fight. So this guy's doing anti-magic. Oh. Do I not have... We're going to go ahead and give this guy a rigor mortis script, but he'll do it later in case the other stuff does not pop up. So... Who's doing it first? Okay, this guy's doing a turn 1 anti-magic. We're going to go ahead and give him more gems. Yeah. Okay, we got a pretty big group coming in here. And yeah, I'm going to take about 1,500 troops on top of this. And this fort only has 500 wallet strength. I don't know what he's going to drop. I assume... I don't see it in here. I assume his pretender's here. Or we'll be there shortly, like by teleport or something, I don't know. But, I'm probably, I don't know what I'm going to fight, but it may be, if he's doing Army of Lead, I could be in trouble. But we'll see. Even if that happens, I think with, Shark Attack combined with, Grip of Winter and Rigor Mortis, I think I'll still be okay. But we'll see. Because I don't think there's any way to kill like 1,500 ghosts underwater with, with all the spells I'm going to have up. One of the main things about fighting underwater, there's some really annoying spells, like Shark Attack is so annoying, which I'm going to be putting up. But not only is that annoying, but there's a bunch of spells you cannot cast. Almost all of the battlefield wipe spells you can't cast, like Firestorm you can't cast underwater, cannot be cast underwater. Wailing or Winds of Death cannot be cast underwater. Earthquake cannot be cast underwater. Most of the things which, like Rain of Stones can't be cast underwater, most of the things you would normally use to kill a big army do not work underwater. One of the things that does work is... Soul Drain works underwater, which I can't cast, but he potentially could with his Pretender. Master and Slave works underwater. Undead Mastery works underwater. And so does Astral Tempest. Astral Tempest might be the best one here, but I'll have pretty high magic resistance. Yeah. So we'll see. There are definitely some things he can cast that will really hurt. But I'm going to have so much firepower I'm bringing. I think I'm going to be okay. You know, I might want to just be extra sure and bring this guy here. And he's going to get a little bit insane, but I've got such a high death income. I can afford to effectively lose 5 grand lemurs. I need to make sure I take this. Why I'm going to bring this guy in is having Death Clouds being spammed out will help kill his chaff. And if he puts up something like Astral Tempest, it's going to get me to his mage, which is doing a lot of damage much more quickly. Okay, that's fine. So I think that's it. Let's go through the rest of the events. Did I do everything? I think I did. We got an adventure. We got province income going up, which is nice. 25 permanent income, 10 permanent income. We got a necromancer here. So this guy's kind of cool. Just has a bunch of soulless in his army. But we're going to put him in a research center and he can do his thing. And yeah, we had some infrastructure come up. These palisades all popped up this turn. So some of them are templed, some of them aren't. Why am I building a temple here? That's a good freaking question. We're going to wait. I don't want a temple there. I don't want to push my dominion here any faster than I have to. We're building a fort here. We're building a temple here. This one we actually want to go ahead and build the fort, but not the temple. And we'll have you make shadows. This one... You know, we might actually just be able to just pause real quick on the fort. And I'm pretty close on... I know I'm making a mage somewhere. Where the hell am I making a mage? I know I'm doing this guy, but I kind of want those. Okay, that's fine. We'll make a fort. Yeah, so these forts are popping up. I don't want to temple this yet because I don't want to push my dominion in here any faster than I have to. But we're going to keep this guy, this priest on standby, and as soon as I get close, like one black candle or one positive candle, I'm going to go ahead and put a temple up. Because once you have... to get good units, you need not only dominion, but you also need a temple in your forted province. So... having dominion like this one, but no temple, gives you just this chaff. But as soon as you put a temple in it, you get the good units. So once my dominion starts to get into it, I'll stick a temple, but not before. You can see Calum income starting to drop. It's going to come down in two ways. One is the population's going to die off, and the population dies off depending on how much dominion I have in there. And also based on the scales are going to go to shit as my dominion sits in here. So over time, this is going to go very, very quickly to hell. Like in 3 turns, it's going to be half this. Got a lot of dominion here. I haven't built a temple here either. I'll probably build a temple here in a turn or two. Here, I also haven't built a temple. This one, I'll probably also build in a turn or two. But I do have a palisade coming up here. I probably... What do I have coming here? I have nobody. I probably should go ahead and put this up to 10 so it could repel some minor invasions. Yeah. This is a pretty damn good site. It's got a Witch's Bog with Death and Water, a Thunder Oak, and then a Stink Marsh. So this is a 4-gem site, or province, and this is also a 4-gem province with some extra gold. So, yeah. And I think we're about the end of this episode. Basically, next episode, if everything goes well, we will siege his fort one turn, and we will pop it the next, and we'll see what he got inside. And it'll be a big battle, because it's going to be 200 plus this, plus probably some stuff here. It'll probably be 500 people inside. So with 500 wall integrity, I need to be bringing at least 1,000, or 750 probably, to pop it. Yeah, so I hope you guys tune in. Hope we have a good fight. Take care.